bloodstock.
Well, as we saw just a couple of minutes earlier, we've got Aidan Rodley on the ground in Melbourne. And Aidan, as we get along to you once again, there's just such a buzz about the place at this time of year. You must be really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been fantastic just coming in here today, Emily, for sure. I've got Lance O'Sullivan here. He's been out walking Mike Moroney's horse. You've been out walking Bonjour Mask. How's that horse going? Did you get a bit of an idea?
Well, it looks pretty well to me. In fact, he's been mates with Summer Passage all the way through. Their box next to each other, so where one goes, the other follows. So, no, he's been great. He looks good, and good to see Mike get results with him as well.
For sure. Summer Passage looked in terrific order.
He's in great order. You know, we can't fault him with the way he looks in the coat, and he's very bright in the eye, you know, and if you look at his runs, he hasn't been that far away. We just have to try and find a couple of links somewhere, but, you know, a bit of rain would probably help him, slow them up a bit, but he certainly looks well in himself.
He goes back down that straight, down the Flemington straight, which he did go 3 or 4 starts back. What did you make of the run that day?
Well, I thought initially, you know, I was probably fractionally disappointing in the run, but, you know, when you sort of weighed it all up, they said, you know, quite often first time down the straight they'll get lost, and you know, he's had he did a little bit of work down there on Tuesday morning. He didn't do a lot, but he's had a look again, and they said they definitely improved from the first to the second time, so we're hoping they're correct.
One thing you just told me before, and you're right, he hasn't been far away from any of these horses over here at the top class level.
No, he hasn't, and you know, I think they're quite an even bunch of 3-year-olds here. There's no real standout horse this year. You know, the fillies and the colts, probably the fillies do look a little bit stronger, if any, but you know, it's one of those, it's sort of, I think they're 20-odd runners, and usually the Coolmore attracts sort of 8 or 9, so it sort of lets you know everybody's having a go.
Yeah, what did you make of the Blue Sapphire last time?
Well, you know, he sort of missed it away a little bit. You know, Hugh Bowman gave the horse a beautiful ride, and he just came in. He said, in his opinion, he would think very seriously about adding blinkers to his gear, and that's what we're opted for this time. Whether he gets racing a little too hard in them, we're not too sure. You know, he's done plenty of pace work and a little bit of fast work in them, and he seemed to be fairly comfortable, possibly a little bit keener. So we're taking him on. You know, the blinkers are going to be on trust for us a little bit, but I think you also need something just to find 1 or 2 links.
What's your impression on his condition through that run?
Well, you know, looking at him, I've been here a week now, and I think I'd like to see him carrying a little bit more condition. He's fractionally light. He's eating okay. He's eating enough, but you know, I'd sort of like to see him carrying another 10 or 15 kilos. But you know, maybe he might blossom in the autumn. But you know, that's his makeup a little bit. I do think he's grown quite a bit over the past 2 or 3 months. You can see he's sort of started got long. He's shot up behind, so yeah, he just might be going through a bit of growing stage as well. Does
that lack of condition suggest that maybe this means he's right and ready to go for Saturday?
Well, that's a good way of looking at it. I wouldn't have thought that, but you know, I think he's just going through a bit of a growing stage. Yeah. And you know, they tend to get a little bit weak looking, and you know, he's in terrific order, but I just think that if we had measured him from before he got on the plane to now, I think we'd see an increase there.
Derby Day, it's a massive day of racing, as we know. You'd have ridden here many times. What about train day? When was the last time you were here involved in racing on Derby Day?
It was a long time ago. In fact, it was probably, I think he had 1 or 2 rides in the Derby, a couple of Australian horses. I was in the also rans, but the Derby Day to me, where I can fondly remember it, and this is going back a long way, to Horlicks when she won the McKinnon. Yeah. And that's a long time ago. I think it's 1989, and I'm not too sure if I've competed on that day since, so it's been a long time.
There you go, fond memories anyhow, Lance. Well, hopefully you can, you know, replicate that with another Group 1 win Saturday. Well,
it's great to be a part of the, you know, the whole scene, the big day, but you know, I'm sure the horse will run well. I can't say he'll win, but I think he'll run well.
Thanks for joining us, Lance. So Lance O'Sullivan, Emily here outside Ballymore Stables here, Mike Moroney's outfit at Flemington, and hopefully